Hello, viewers. Thank you for watching Gibbs TV. Please, if you have not subscribed to Gibbs TV, please kindly do so. Today's lesson, we'll be looking at purpose of the study, specifically how to write a good purpose of the study. What is purpose of the study? In any academic writing or research paper, or for your thesis or a dissertation, or maybe in your research project, a purpose statement tells you what the purpose of the research will be. You can write it in just one sentence or two, and it must clearly define the direction, reason, or goal for the research being conducted. Okay? So you have to take note of that. When you are doing research, it is important to define your purpose. It is important, underline that, it's important to define your purpose. That is why in every academic research, being it a thesis or dissertation, or your research project, you have a section titled Purpose of the Study. You have that caption, Purpose of the Study. Or in some institutions, they prefer you use Aim of the Study. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we must see the purpose of the study in your document. And under the purpose of the study, that is where the purpose statement comes in. It clearly defines the objective of your qualitative or quantitative research, because every purpose tells the direction and the focus of the research area. So it will tell readers the objective of your qualitative or the quantitative or the research method, the mixed method that you are about to embark on. Whether you are testing a scientific relationship or causal factors or looking at behavior, you need to clearly define the aim of your research. A purpose statement will clearly define what is being explored or studied, or how it is being explored and where it is being explored. Please kindly underline what is being explored, how it is being explored, and where it is being explored. Purpose of the study must have those critical components. Where it is being explored, what is being explored, and how it's being explored. Very important to take note of that. This particular last bullet is very important. There are a few things to consider when creating a purpose statement. When creating your own purpose statement, there are a few things that you will want to keep in mind. And these are the 5 criteria. The first criteria is clearly define your study as either quantitative or qualitative, or both, as mixed method. Use words or verbs to clarify your intent. And verbs like explore, investigate, examine, compare, evaluate, describe, discover, they all can be utilized to bring clarity to your purpose. Or they are measurable verbs, okay, the action words. 3, clearly define how the research will take place. 4, discuss who or what will be researched and clarify where the research will take place. If you look at the last 3 elements, okay, the last 3 elements addresses the last bullet here. A purpose statement will clearly define what is being explored, how it is being explored, and where it is being explored. Very important. There are 2 major forms of statement of purpose statement or purpose of the study. We have the quantitative research purpose statement and we have the qualitative research purpose statement. Under the quantitative research purpose statement, you will typically see quantitative research purpose statement which focus on comparing measurable variables. The key is measurable variables, comparing measuring variables, or examining relationship, okay, testing correlations, okay, among variables. Very important. Under the qualitative research purpose, you typically see qualitative research purpose statement which explore a central phenomenon. We will go into them, okay, so that you understand each purpose with example. Let's quickly look at the qualitative purpose statement. We have to learn more about the qualitative purpose statement. And the qualitative research purpose statement, you will present a clear purpose or intent. and study a specific idea. Underline the word specific idea. Okay, it's focus and look at specific direction, specific idea, a single idea. And here the data is descriptive in nature and it's not countable or numerical, unlike that of the quantitative research purpose statement, where you focus on countable and numerics data. But this is more of text. Okay, this is more of document-based analysis. This is more of interviews, more of string analysis, you know. Yeah, so it is not numeric in nature. Let's look at some examples of a qualitative purpose statement. First example, the purpose of this qualitative study is to discover 4 genetic factors of aggression of female lions in the Atlantic Zoo. The study aimed to understand critical influences that affect this aggression through DNA analysis. If you look at this particular purpose, the use of the action word or the verb discover, along with the study of a single, because remember, qualitative purpose statement look at specific phenomenon. So the use of the word discover, this discover, underline the discover, which is mapped to the discover in the purpose, along with the study of a single phenomenon, makes this a clear qualitative study. Okay, and the strategy for how the study will be conducted and where it will take place are broken down clearly as well. So it meets the 5 criteria that was outlined in the previous slides. Let's look at the second example. The second purpose for qualitative purpose statement. This study describes a qualitative study of the career development of 18 prominent, highly achieving African-American, Black, and white women in the United States across 8 occupational fields. The aim in the study was to explore critical influences on the career development of these women, particularly those related to the attainment of professional success. In this research purpose statement, you realize that the researcher is using a qualitative purpose statement. So even in the first sentence, okay, it has already given the direction. It's a qualitative study. But not only does the researcher present right away that this will be a qualitative study, but the purpose statement focuses on one idea or concept, a specific phenomenon, so which even makes it a qualitative purpose statement. Also, the researcher uses the action word exploit, okay? Use the exploit to explain how they will learn from the study. In addition to breaking down who will be in the study and where the research would take place. So it satisfies the criteria as well, the 5 criteria. It's focus, we know where it will take place, who will be involved, okay? And it's also specific in terms of focusing on a phenomenon, which helps satisfy the criteria for a qualitative purpose statement. Let's look at the quantitative purpose statement. Unlike the qualitative research purpose statement, quantitative purpose statement explore how numerical variables relate or correlate with one another. These purpose statements will define objective or the intent, clarify the variables, and outline where the researcher will take place. So underline, clarify variables. So in every quantitative purpose statement, you must see variables in the purpose statement. It must be amenable to testing. Okay? And we must also be able to identify where the research will take place. There should be clarity in terms of the intent. The intent, is it looking at relationship? Is it looking at determination? Is it looking at impact? What is it looking at? We should be able to know the objective, the intent behind the purpose. Let's take a typical example. And because many academic research for policy studies, public policy, economics, and several other disciplines, okay, they have been utilizing most of the scientific quantitative research methods. So I have to take time to explain this particular purpose. Even though I use one example, but I've broken it down for simplicity. Let's look at the typical example. It reads, the purpose of this study is to evaluate a relationship that might exist between oxidative balance and clinical features of PKU and MSUD patients in CAF research facility, period. The oxidative DNA damage markers and amino acid plasma of 20 controls, 22 MSUD, and 40 PKU patients were measured. Let's try to analyze this particular purpose. This quantitative purpose statement discusses the variables, and the variables are highlighted in blue, okay? If you look at where I map variables to those words in blue, okay, those are the variables, the dependent and independent variables. Okay, then it also discusses participants. What are the participants? Patients, PKU and MSUD patients. Okay, where? The research site, CAF research facility. Okay, so it connects the independent and the dependent variable in the first sentence to clarify for readers the intention and goals of the study. It also breaks down the variables and how they will relate to one another. This is a typical quantitative purpose statement. Okay, because the focus is there, the intent is there, is to evaluate a relationship, okay, or to examine the relationship, or to discover the relationship, or to investigate the relationship. It's very important to note the intent or the objective. The relationship between what? The variables, oxidative balance, and clinical features. Okay? Of what? Okay? Of those PKU, MSUD patients. Those are the participants. In where? CAP research facility. So take note of that. All right. In summary, for the case of the purpose of the study, remember to answer the question, what is or are the aims of the study? Every purpose must address that, because if you look at the quantitative and the qualitative, there must be the focus, the intent, the objective. So that aim must be there. Also, remember to state the purpose of the study with clarity and preciseness. And sometimes this can be done by using the action verbs, okay? Like analyze, synthesize, evaluate, investigate, compare, okay? For example, you can begin writing the purpose by beginning with this phrase, the one highlighted in green. It can read, the purpose of this study is to investigate, or is to analyze, or is to compare, or is to synthesize, or is to evaluate, or is to discover. You can use any of these action verbs, okay, to use to explain the relationship, use to explain the impact, use to explain whatever you intend to do. So you can use any of them. That is why I've listed several of them for you to know some of the words and the verbs that you can use to bring clarity to the purpose of the study. Okay, very, very important. So for instance, you can say that the purpose of this study is to investigate the relationship between inflation and economic growth in Ghana to inform economic policy, period. So lastly, researchers should know that the purpose must be amenable to analysis with data. So it should be amenable to testing. So make sure there is clarity, and it's also going to be measurable. Thank you very much for subscribing to GIBS TV. I'll see you in the next video.